Chair, we are now live streaming. It's not quite 6 o'clock. I will give you the nod as soon as. Oh, it is now 6 o'clock, Chair. So I'll hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. Welcome, everybody. I think we all know about the arrangements for virtual meetings. So if you would like to speak, please raise your hand or raise your emoticon, and I will get back to you. Otherwise, I would ask that everybody remains muted. Apologies for absence. Joe, do we have any apart from Councillor Zibir?
That's the only one I've got, Chair. I haven't got any others.
Okay, so we don't have Lorraine Wench and Chris Graham.
I haven't got Councillor. Oh, Councillor Graham's just arriving, and Councillor Wench hasn't sent any apologies.
Okay, brilliant. That's fine. Shall I just wait for Councillor Graham to come in?
There she is.
Yay.
Yeah. So we've not had anything from Councillor Wrench, Chair. That's where we're up to.
Okay, that's fine. So declarations of interest. To receive declarations of interest under consideration on this agenda in accordance with the Localisation Act 2011, Section 32, and relevant authorities, brackets, disclosable pecuniary interest, close brackets, Regulation 2012. Members are reminded that should you declare a pecuniary interest at a meeting, it is your responsibility to inform the monitoring officer. Declarations of interest from members. Doesn't appear so, Joe. Declarations of interest from officers.
Neither of us have anything, Chair.
Thank you very much. Public question time and participation. I don't believe that we have anybody in the room, do we?
We haven't. We're not had any notice either, so there are none.
Okay, marvellous. Number 5, minutes for decision. Members are asked to approve the minutes of the Finance and Audit Committee held on Monday, 15th of February. Do I have a proposer?
Councillor Curtis.
Thank you very much, Councillor Curtis. A seconder?
Councillor Corkindale.
Thank you, Councillor Corkindale. All those in favour, please?
Yeah, that's unanimous. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Progress report for noting. I believe that everybody has read this. Is there anything particular that we need to think about, Mr. Clark?
There isn't, Chair. No, it's just an update as to obviously where decision you made last time, where we all are. All the payments in terms of grants are being progressed. So no, there's nothing else you could really note, really.
Fantastic. So I would propose that we note this report from the clerk. Number 7, town plan. Joe, is there anything that you particularly want to mention about that?
To be honest, there is. It's on the council agenda on the 25th of March for the full report. So there's everything will be covered there, but there's nothing urgent that the committee needs to be aware of, other than just to note the report and that the progress that continues to be made with the town plan.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So I propose that we note this report relating to the town plan. Number 8, financial reports for decision. I'm obviously going to hand over to Naomi for this. Naomi, would you like to take us through this, please?
Hi there. So it's just the usual reports. I don't you've got your bank reconciliations, so they're all done and in order. You've got your month-end reports, you've got your income and expenditure. Don't know if anyone's got any questions about the income and expenditure.
I believe I have Councillor Clarkson would like to make a comment.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, I was just wondering if the RFO might be able to clarify, because I'm just looking at the Civic Centre section of the income and expenditure towards the bottom, and there's a 340% more than we're expected on room hire. So I'm just wondering if we could just be able to comment on that possibly, and also as well, if the RFO might be able to clarify what the do not use segment is in that budget as well. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Well, the room hire, that's receipts, so that's really good news. The town clerk applied for a grant related to COVID for loss of income, and we've been receiving regular payments from Bradford Council. So that's what that's about. And we've also, I think it's been explained previously, but we've had additional unexpected income because we've let more of the building. So there, basically, you've got more income than you predicted at the beginning of the year. In relation to the right, so basically, what happens is when we set up the accounts, we've got codes that are set up that aren't in use. So we just put that's just the standard thing that is written on them, do not use. Unfortunately, we see you have got an annual budget 3,000 and funds available of 3,000. So we need to check what's happened there, why that's showing under do not use. So thanks for letting me know. But actually, haven't actually spent anything, so it is just a back office thing that I will sort out. And what I'll do is I'll email people, let them know what that was about, if that's okay.
Thank you very much, Councillor Clarkson. That was a very well identified problem there. Anybody else? Councillor Mansell, please.
Yeah, just a quick one. Looks pretty good, really. Just at the end with the net income over expenditure, I mean, obviously we've done much better than we thought we were going to do this year, and that we should be moving 171,000 to reserves. I was just wondering, are there any sort of how much expenditure do we have left in the year? Will that fluctuate, or will we keep above that, so we'll actually be able to put something in reserves rather than needing to take it out?
So you're definitely underspent on your budget this year. I mean, there are a lot of things that to be taken into account. For instance, you haven't been billed from Bradford yet for 4 months' salary payments, and there will be invoices to be paid in the next couple of weeks or so. And also, because you're agreeing your carry forwards, you're going to be, some of that money you're going to be agreeing that you're going to actually, that was committed or couldn't be spent because of COVID, so that's going to move through the next year. So that isn't, that's the current accounting figure, but that isn't an accurate year-end figure. You definitely have got an underspend this year.
Yeah. Chair, Councillor Cockendale did have his hand up as well. But if you
Councillor Cockendale.
Yeah, if you just just before you bring him in, just on Councillor Munsell's point, we've had meetings today, Naomi, myself, and Pip, and one of us looking at this kind of last bit of period now where we're coming up to the year end. We've got invoices outstanding, which we obviously need to get in. We've got income from office rental and other things which are outstanding. We've got allotment rents. So we've started that work now to make sure that we get it in the right year. When we agreed the budget in January, in the budget there was a prediction on what we thought the reserves at the end of this year would be, 31st of March. I think Naomi's view and my view is that was a decent ballpark of where we thought the reserves would be, and we expect them to be somewhere around about there. Definitely expect them to be less, but again, depends on what you do, your carry forwards and etc. But yeah, it'll be healthier than what it perhaps would have been 12 months ago.
Thank you very much. So can I call on Councillor Corkindale, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. A couple of little things. Councillor Mounsell mentions 100,000. I'm presuming that 100,000 is what we have in the interest account. It's not something that it's something that's going forward from last year. Is it the PSDF you're calling it, or something of that nature? Yeah, PSDF. And are we likely to get any VAT payments this year that would affect us? That's all. Thank you.
The money that you've got in the deposit, I'm afraid I can't remember the name. Your 100,000.
Deposit fund.
Sorry, Joe. Say it again.
Public sector deposit fund.
Public sector deposit fund. That is all part of this. So basically, that's you have all different cash books that all of that money is in your income and expenditure. There isn't another 100,000 floating somewhere. The VAT doesn't. This is all net. VAT doesn't affect your accounts at all. It's like a separate bank account. We pay VAT. We receive VAT. Your nominal ledger is net of VAT. So our accounts are net. So the VAT payments don't affect it.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I just noticed they are calculated in one of the ledgers. That's all. It's 2,000.
Yeah, in the cash book.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah,
I understand that.
And then we've got the February payments to ratify. Usually, two councillors agree to count random samples and ask me for a bit of an audit trail with them, and I provide that information.
Can I propose Councillors Curtis and Mounsell once again, Chair?
You certainly can, if Councillor Mounsell would like to do that.
Yeah, I'm actually just compiling the email now.
You're a good man. You're a very, very good man. Thank you. Okay, so we know that's on its way, Naomi. Shall we go to number 3 to agree any budget requirements?
Check. Sorry, can we just ratify the payments, please? Yeah, so if you've had a proposal from Councillor Corkindale, if we can just ratify the February payments and that Councillor Mounsell and Curtis will undertake the spot checks. Somebody could second that, and then we can put that to bed. Then we can.
I'll second it. All those in favour?
Thank you.
Do we have to vote to say that we have noted the bank reconciliations and month-end report?
Ideally, we should do, yeah.
Okay, so I would like to propose that we note the bank reconciliations and the month-end reports. Do I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Mounsell. All those in favour?
Thank you.
And then we've got the budget environments, and there's a few more of these this time, and you've been sent around a separate sheet with them on.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's quite self-explanatory, but if anyone's got any questions about it.
Any problems, anyone? I mean, we've got various explanations. So maintenance costs were higher than expected. We've got higher costs due to COVID-19, that's twice, to reflect the exact cost of the actual project. Maintenance costs were higher than was expected. Increase in subscription fees and higher costs due to the cyber attack on the website.
Yeah, some of these costs have been when we set our budget in January, we have factored them into next year's budget, so there shouldn't be a yearly concurring thing.
No.
We have factored that into going forward.
No,
It's good if we could propose
we've got that one out.
Yeah.
So proposed, Chair.
Thank you very much. I'll second that. All those in favour?
That's unanimous. Thank you.
Super. Well done, everybody.
Then the next one's slightly longer. It's to agree the carry forward. So the carry forwards are when you've agreed funding for a project in your budget for this year, but for various reasons the project isn't complete, or quite often because of COVID this year, we haven't been able to do the project. So it's a long list. We've gone through it with staff and had a look at it, and it's proposed carry forwards to 2021-22, and Joe's put together a report that goes with them as well to explain.
Okay, so I have Councillor Clarkson, if you'd like to voice.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just wanted to bring some up that's somewhat related to this, and that is that myself and Councillor Adams, along with Councillor Shaw, in September 2019, all approved our award improvement fund to buy a SIS Minutes traffic camera and a 1-year sort of a service agreement with Bradford Council. Now, for various reasons, that's not quite come to fruition, but I just wanted to bring it up to make sure if it might be relevant for this section, or at the very least that it sort of minuted that decision which was taken in September 2019 on the 16th will be budgeted for in the future. Thank you.
Joe, do you know about that?
We do, Chair. Yeah, so it's not any fault of the town council. Bradford have been pulling their feet or dragging their feet in terms of the purchase of the spade. I call it a spade. A spade. It's a smiley face thing, isn't it? So it's in the reserves, but it's not harming mentioning again that the spend was made a committee in 2019, and that it will still be paid for out of the Ward Development Fund. We have the minute note, so it is there. So it is fine, but it's given that it was quite a while ago, we probably should just minute it again. So that makes sense.
Okay, that's brilliant. So that will be minuted for these minutes. Fantastic. Julie Adams, please.
Yeah, just to follow up on that. I mean, I've been in constant contact with the gentleman at Bradford Council. The response we keep getting is because of COVID, it's been put on hold. But I have been assured last week that over the telephone, and I followed it up with an email, but I haven't had a response from them yet, to say that things will be starting to happen in the next 6 weeks. So I have kept following it up and got nowhere. I did include the district councillor in the emails because he was with us at the initial meeting, and I'll just keep chasing them until they do it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Adams. Can I actually just to make sure that I've got it right in my head, you said Councillor Shaw. We actually have 2 Councillor Shaws. Can you give me the initial, please? Councillor.
Yes, Chair. It's Councillor Philip Shaw.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Chair, if I can, just a couple of extra points on the carry forward. The spreadsheet has been sent out to you all. So the total request of the carry forwards is £35,638.20. A lot of that is projects that have been committed. So a lot of it is War Development Fund money, which has been committed, and community development money, which has been committed, but again, for various reasons, through COVID, one thing and another, hasn't been spent. Some water and transport funding. So Councillor Graham's £6,000 for the camera in Longley, that still hasn't been sorted out again because of COVID, but we need to carry forward that money for that. We've got the mobile CCTV scheme. Now we've also added in the replacement boundary signs, which have now been installed today. So there's a chance that may get paid in this financial year. So if he does it, Naomi just knocks it out. So we wouldn't then carry it forward. But the one bit I do want to talk to you about is the events committee. So the events committee had an underspend of about overall about £10,000 from the events. The committee wanted to carry over the entire amount for three things. They wanted to carry over the £1,500 for an Eid event, which is fine. They wanted to carry forward money for the event celebration, which didn't happen, which was fine. And then then the suggestion was that we put the rest of the events underspend into the pot, and we can use that for festive lights, which again, it's fine. But the as Naomi quite rightly pointed out to us, the idea of carry forward is projects which were agreed in 1 year, haven't been delivered, and are moved forward. So what we have done to make sure that we follow our own rules, and if I can quickly open up my report. So what the recommendation is in the report is that we approve the carry forward. The council can approve, the council, you as the finance committee can approve the £5,833 underspend for the Christmas lights, so for the celebration event. You can also approve the carry forward of £1,500 for the Eid event, but you recommend to council that the rest of the underspend, which is 5,833, rather than going back into reserves, gets moved across for the Christmas lights. And then we can do that at council next week on the 25th of March. So it's a two-step process, but it gets the event committee where they want to be, and it makes sure that we follow the rules and don't just start randomly carrying forward money that hasn't actually been allocated to a project yet. So it's just good housekeeping. So that's the recommendation in the report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. So basically you want me to propose that we do those two at this committee.
Yeah, Chair. So if you can approve on the spreadsheet that was sent out, if you can approve all those carry forwards, which total 35,680, and then recommend to council that 5,833 of the unused events and leisure budget is allocated to the Christmas lights or the festive lights rather than being returned to the general reserves, and that'll go to council next week.
So proposed.
You got Councillor Cockendale waving.
I beg your pardon, Councillor Corkindale.
Sorry, Chair, just before you go to the vote, can I just check with the clerk that 35,000 includes the 11,000 that the events committee are wanting to carry forward?
It's split into two, Councillor Cockendale. So part of it, yes. So it includes the carry forward of £3,205 for the celebration event and the £1,500 for the Eid event. It's the gap between the two, if you like, the difference that I need to get council approval for, which is what the second part of the recommendation is. So yes, it does, but the last little bit, that 5,833, needs council approval.
Right, but what all I'm trying to work out, Joe, is, sorry, Clark, is that it's not going to be 40,000. It's still going to be, the carry forward will still be 35,000, regardless of how we, you know, how we do this.
No, for that extent, it is two decisions. So it's 35,680, and then you'll be adding another 5 to it next week.
So it will be 40,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Fine. Thank you. I've done, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. I was just trying to see where Councillor Curtis was. Okay, well, very, very lovely to see Councillor Subir. Very nice to see you there. Now, Joe, do we need to consider the ones for the Ward Improvement Fund?
Okay, you've got Councillor Clarkson. You've got his hand up.
Councillor Clarkson, then.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, I might be adding to the confusion here, but I was a bit confused there. So I'm just checking. From the celebration event, are we carrying forward £3,205, Joe? Sorry, Clark.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about
that. Sorry, Chair, to answer your question, I think if you can approve that amount on the spreadsheet with the recommendation for the second part to go to council, that will sort everything out. That will carry forward the ward development grants, which you have approved and may approve tonight, and hopefully that should be everything that we need in terms of the budget that's left for this year.
Fantastic. In that case, I would so approve this spreadsheet. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Corkindale. All those in favour? I can't see Councillor Curtis.
No, I think he's just offline. Either that or he's sat in the sunshine. But there's those that are there. It's carried, Chair. That's a majority.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Just one more, which is the external auditor's additional information request. So I'm sure you're aware we had a public rights information request in relation to last year's accounts, and that's no fault of our own. It's taken the external auditors this long to get back to us. It was very, very detailed, the information we had to provide, and there was a couple of reporting discrepancies which I put in this table which you've received. All the accounting was correct and all the information was available, but we used to do the schedule of payments rather than provide the actual accounting figures that we produce through our accounting system. And on one schedule of payments, the amount was incorrect. At that meeting, all the actual information, the invoices and the checks were there and they were correct, but on the schedule of payments that got signed off, there was something that was wrong. And also on the schedule of payments, one reference number was wrong. Out of the very detailed, I'm going to say probably, I mean, I don't know, it seemed like hundreds, but it probably was at least 50 different things that we've had to look at in detail and sort. These were the only two things that I needed to report back to you. So I put them in this table for you to look at this meeting, so that it's all completely open. And that's, so I guess it's just to note or receive the information, if that's okay.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
No,
Okay,
it seems all right.
I'm sorry, Councillor Corkindale.
I'm sorry, no, I didn't realise my mic was still on. I'm saying I've read it and it seems perfectly fine to me. It's just it's the roof, it's the roofing that we the money that we had paid for that. Am I right, Naomi? we? Is it?
Yes, and the correct amount was paid and on the
Yeah,
invoice and on the
Yeah,
check.
I say that
Unfortunately,
you've
Rowan
actually
should
done
have-
it in red, and you made it fairly.
Yeah.
You made it as clear as I could, as clear as you can be. So
Okay, so I think-
I'm fine with it, Chair.
Fantastic. So I think we will have that as noted, Mr. Clark.
Thank you all.
Okay, so number 9, grant applications for decision. Right, Joe, do you want to send us through this?
Yeah, Chair, I'll talk you through it. Also, you've got all the documentation in front of you. The officers have met. You've got our recommendations in the report. The first, if we do them one by one, the first one's for £900, part of the Bradford City of Culture, Bradford 2025 for a street art project. It's to paint a stencil of Sir Captain Tom on the side of the wall facing the Town Hall Square. There's currently a green palisade fence up to where the air handling unit is for the Town Hall. Bradford 2025 would obviously get permission from Bradford and permission from the owner of the wall. I think they're asking us for £900 towards the cost. So it's been told across that we think it has. It's up to you whether or not you want to support, it out of your grants pot.
Okay, so I'd like to open this up to the floor. I know that Councillor Clarkson would like to have a word.
Thank you very much, Chair. I was just wondering if the officers could clarify if the fact it's a limited company has any sort of bearings on his grants policy whatsoever.
Chair, I thought it was a community interest company based on it's part of Bradford. If that's the case, that has passed me by check. But I thought it was a community limited by CIC.
I could just come back, Chair. It just says on the on the form what type of organisation are you, and it's obviously a limited company in the process of registering as a charity.
Yeah, I think we can clarify that. But I suppose because it was, I think we probably just made a little bit of an assumption to do with the links with Bradford. You can have, there are lots of limited companies that are set up on a charitable non-profit basis that can apply for grant funding and do get grant funding. But you can just do an extra check on that. So if you do decide to go ahead, you can go ahead subject to those checks being carried out.
Thank you very much, Naomi. Joe, how much do we have still in our budget for grants?
At the moment, top of my head, I think you've got about 10,000. 10,103, I think, at the moment. And this one wants £900.
Okay. So my actual question to everybody here is, presumably you've seen how it would look on that particular wall. Would you like it?
I think the question the committee should, obviously, it's whether or not you want to support it or not. There's a fair old chance that even if you don't, it will still end up being done there, because this is part of the Bradford for Culture 2025. It's entirely your choice. Obviously, it's from our point of view, it met the requirements, but that was all. That's the reason why we got the recommendation, not for any other reason.
If you would like my opinion, and I can say it, I don't like it. I don't think that it lends anything to the Town Hall Square. I don't think it lends anything to the memory of Captain on. And I would rather not use that grant for this. That is my honest opinion. So can I have anybody else's honest opinion? Councillor Curtis.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of opinion, isn't it? I would say I'm okay with it. It meets the grant procedures, so I would be, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Councillor Corkindale.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I personally think that if we were to be seen not to support it, it may be something that the people of Keighley might just find us a little bit churlish. I think we need, at the bottom line is, it's not whether we like it or not, it's whether the people of Keighley will like it. And I think there is a huge number of people in Keighley who would like to see something there. It isn't going to be a statue, it isn't going to be a memorial in that respect, but it just does show that we haven't forgotten and we are going forward with him. I've got to say, I think there are better ways. There would be better things to do, but at the moment, I think we should. I personally would go with it at this particular junction in time. But again, my opinion.
So again, £900 for that. I think that's quite a lot, actually, knowing that it's a stencil. I mean, I don't know very much about this, but I think that, you know, if people realise that we've actually spent £900 on a stencil on the corner of a building, then surely they would think that perhaps we could have spent that better.
Yeah, the full cost is £4,000. So obviously, £900 is the request from us. The other £3,100 has been made up from funding elsewhere. So it is an expensive piece of street art.
Yes, it is.
Joe,
Councillor
not to hurry committee along, but we have a lot of applications and.
Yes, I know. Councillor Corkindale.
Yeah, can we put this to bed, please, Chair? I will propose that we accept the grant and approve the £900.
Okay, do I have a seconder, please?
Councillor Graham.
Councillor Graham?
I think she was seconded it, Chair.
Okay, so Councillor.
You've got Councillor Clarkson waving. I don't know if he wishes to speak, Chair, before we go to the vote.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I was just wondering if we could add this sort of a proviso that Naomi started earlier, that we do the additional check to make sure it's fully compliant with regulations also.
Okay, I think we'll put that in with the proposal. So we have a proposer and a seconder. All those in favour, please.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 in favour, Chair.
Jolly good.
Any against?
Against?
No, that's fine, Chair. Thank you.
And abstentions? Me.
1. There we go.
Okay, so let's move on to the grant of £1,000 for the Dale Bus project. Mr. Clark?
Chair, I think you've had something like this previously in the past, I believe, and it's to go towards the Yorkshire Dale bus, and it's just I've just lost the actual route. Well, is it the Nidderdale Rambler?
Pretty much, yes.
Chair, so look, it's you spotted it before. It's £1,000 to provide to relaunch the route. We'll start at the Keithley station, down the Air Valley through to Bingley and Shipley, and cross over to Otley. So again, bring people into Keithley. We think it's fine. So it's a matter for you now as members to whether you think you want to use £1,000 of your grant pot to support it. The total cost of the project is 6,770.
I would like to propose this one. Do I have a seconder? Thank you very much, Councillor Corkindale. All those in favour? Marvellous.
Thank you all.
So number 4, members to approve a grant of £1,000 from Councillor Zabir's Ward Improvement Fund for Lowood Activity Centre, Scout Hut and Shelter. Cellar. Anyway, shelter. Clark.
Yeah, Chair, it's £1,000 towards the cost of construction of a hut and shelter. The total cost is about 13,600. So we think it's fine. It's from Councillor Zabez for Ward Development Pot. He's got £1,000 left, so it's up to you just to ratify it, please.
I have Councillor Corkindale here.
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to point out that in the short description of the project, paragraph 3, I would like the building when it's after COVID to have windows and doors rather than widows and doors. If that's all right with you. If that's all right with the committee. And there seems to be 2 applications for the same thing. Am I wrong?
No, I think it's just a duplication.
Okay, in that case, then I will propose that we approve it.
Just before you propose that, could I speak to Councillor Graham?
Thank you, Chair. I think it would be a very good project for young people. It encourages them to get off the streets and actively participate in outdoor projects and that. So I would be happy to second Councillor Corkindale's proposal. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Clarkson.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I was just wondering, because the quote provided is obviously some sort of discrepancy between the amount quoted by the company and the total amount that they're asking for in the project. I know it's very sort of pernickety, but I'm wondering if we could sort of iron that out.
Yeah, we shall, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all right, Mr. Clark?
Yeah.
Good. So we have a proposer and we have a seconder. The proposer is Councillor Corkindale. The seconder is Councillor Graham. All those in favour, please.
That's unanimous, Chair. Thank you.
Marvellous. Well done. Number 5, members to approve a grant of £300 from Councillor Appleton's Ward Improvement Fund for replacement bench, Greenhead Road.
Chair, this also from your own fund. You've got £500 left. I believe this cost is going to be at £300. This will leave you £200. It just needs to be ratified by committee, please.
Basically, what this was that the bench which was there previously was completely dilapidated, and we contacted Bradford to have a like-for-like bench put in there. They decided not to do that, and it is an absolute eyesore where it is. And so I have asked for them to remove that bench, and I would wish that we have one of the reconstituted benches from the man sheds put there instead, because it really doesn't go with the street scene. So I would be very grateful if you would ratify this for me. Councillor Clarkson.
I'd like to propose that, Chair.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Corkindale. Thank you very much. All those in favour?
One, yeah, that's thank you, Chair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's passed. Thank you.
Thank you. Members to approve a grant of £1,000 from Councillor Hurd's Ward Improvement Fund for electrical work at St Michael's Youth and Community Centre.
Chair, again, we've gone through this. Total cost £2,500. They're asking for £1,000 from Councillor Hurd. He has £1,000 available, so it just needs you to be ratified, please.
So proposed. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Curtis. All those in favour? Thank you.
That's unanimous. Thank you, Chair. Yeah. And Chair, the last one isn't an application. It's a request from the Dockroyd Graveyard, who you funded back in October 2020. Sorry, August 2020. We do ask normally for external grants that they are spent within 6 months. Obviously, again, due to the famous 3 words, due to COVID, they haven't been able to do much of the work. So they've asked if they can have an extension to the period of time where they have to spend the grant. We don't see it as a problem given the circumstances. So again, if you could just approve that you're happy for them to.
How much was the grant?
Without looking, I think you're getting about £3,000. I think I'd have to go back and check the minutes.
I think so proposed. Actually, they're doing fantastic work down there.
So we can give them another 6 months, Chair. Is that okay?
Pardon?
Another 6 months.
I think another 6 months will be fine, hopefully. And if they need longer, then I think that they'll have to come back. But I'm quite sure that we'll say again the same thing.
Yeah.
They're doing fantastic work there. So do I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Graham. All those in favour?
Yeah, that's unanimous, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's it for the grant applications.
Yes, Chair. Yeah.
Okay, so number 10, payroll services for decision. To consider the attached report from the town clerk on extending the current payroll contract with Bradford MDC for a further 12 months. Mr. Clark.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So, as it says, it is to approve the contract for our payroll services another 12 months. The annual cost is included in the report. It's just over £2,270. That is based on the number of staff and also the number of councillors' allowances that we have to pay. The arrangement is very good. I think Naomi and I have a very good relationship with our contact at Bradford. What I have just put in the report towards the end is, we just renew this almost every year automatically. And you may want to, at some point over the next 12 months, just look at, is it worth doing a best value exercise and seeing what other options are out there, just to make sure that the money you are paying out is reasonable for the services that you are getting. But yeah, it's something that has to be approved by committee every year. So it's just, if you could just approve it, that'd be very helpful.
Okay, so I would like to approve this for the current payroll contract with Bradford MDC for another 12 months. But within that 12 months, I would like us to see whether or not we can do this slightly better than with Bradford.
Okay.
Is that fair enough?
It's well. I think we should. I think you should conduct a best value assessment, and
Yes.
let's see. You know, we can put a brief together, send out quotes, and see what we get back.
Yes.
And then
I think
it gives you a selection to choose from.
Yes. So I think for this, we approve it. But within those 12 months, we have the best value assessment going forward. Yeah. Do I have a seconder, please? I think Councillor Mansell. Is that right? Jolly good. All those in favour, please.
It's unanimous. Thank you, Chair.
Super. Okay, number 11, Asset Register 2021. To consider the attached report from the Town Clerk regarding the Asset Register 2021.
Chair, it's so yeah. This is an update on your asset register, which we looked at, or you last looked at in, I think it is in March 2020. We have had some additional items, obviously this year, which have been added. Most of it is around IT that was purchased for additional staff and also for home working. We've also purchased some new benches in the Town Hall Square. So they've been added. We will shortly be adding, now that the boundary signs have, the 3 boundary signs have been erected, they'll be added on. So you need to recommend.
And I presume also the grip bins.
The grip bins, yes. Well, grip bins aren't on the grip bins aren't on the asset register because they aren't worth more than £100.
Oh, okay.
They cause a lot more headache than £100, but they aren't worth. But we do have them on the separate list. You need to recommend to council for next week that we approve the asset register, and then what we do is we send that back to the insurance company, and they just update it, and it covers us for our buildings and contents insurance as well.
Okay. May I have a proposer for this, please? Councillor Corkindale, and a seconder, Councillor Graham. All those in favour, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number 12, Civic Arts, Media and Culture Activities Pilot Scheme Update. Now this is basically from Pip and Jeff, isn't it, Mr. Clark?
It is, Chair, and I won't spend a lot of time talking about it because obviously you've got it all in front of you. Some of you perhaps will have seen the work that started on the downstairs project. Separate to this, in the budget, you've agreed some funding to extend that for a further 12 months, and some of that ideas have been included in the report at the end. So you asked for this update when you last considered it. I think it was in December. You asked for another update before the year end, which is what you've got. So I think really you just need to not the report, and obviously we'll bring back anything else financial related to you next year if we need to.
Fantastic.
Sorry, I should have said Jeff was going to be here to talk you through it, but he's had IT issues, so he was unable to join. He did send his apologies.
He did send his apologies, and he also said that he will be framing and hanging the last Keithley graphic exhibition photos from 10 a.m. tomorrow. If anyone wants to call in and have a socially distanced, fresh ground, hot lava java or Yorkshire tea and a chat. If anybody would like to go. Bless him. He's such a star. Councillor Graham, please.
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to take the opportunity to say what a wonderful creative redecoration Jeff has done in
Yeah.
that space. It is absolutely out of this world. And if some of you haven't seen it, I would suggest you go along just to see it. I can't believe how absolutely wonderful it is. He's done
Yeah.
such a good job. He really has. It's fabulous space now.
It is. It is. It is absolutely amazing. So I would like to propose the report, and let's keep going. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Graham. All those in favour?
That's unanimous. Thank you, Chair.
Marvellous. Okay, number 13, future items for discussion. Does anybody have anything that they would like to put on the next agenda? Councillor Clarkson.
Thank you very much, Chair. I believed it might have been mentioned previously by Councillor Maunsell, but I'm just thinking about the financing of the plaque that was proposed / accepted at full council for Councillor Abid Hussain.
Yeah, Chair. It will come to. It is coming to Finance and Audit Committee. I'm delaying it, perhaps for obvious reasons of what may happen sometime in early May. So I intend to bring it to committee after that.
Okay, so if I could just come back, Chair, just thank you very much, Mr. Clark. That's perfectly understandable.
Fantastic. Yes, as Councillor Clarkson has just said, I think that's exactly where we need to be. So does anybody else have any other items? No? Okay, so number 14, which is the date of the next meeting, will be on Monday, the 19th of April, 2021 at 6 p.m.
Yeah. Chair, can I just pop in at that point?
I was just going to ask if we can be face to face. That was all.
Not by that point, I don't think. We may have, well, with your permission, we may call a meeting on the 29th of March if we get any further ward improvement grants in, just to tie them up, just so we can approve them in this current financial year before carrying them forward. So what we can't do, we can't approve a ward development grant in April that should come out of this year's funding. Now, at the minute, I haven't got any as of today, so we may not need it, but if we can just put on standby the 29th of March, which, if my recollection is right, is a Tuesday. Monday. It's the last Monday of the month. And if we have to call it, members will get the agenda and paper 7 days before as normal anyway. But it's just an FYI.
Okay.
If that's if you approve, that's if you agree with it.
Well, I'm perfectly happy with that, and if you would like me to call it, then I will so call it.
Thank you.
Okay, so it only leaves me to say thank you very, very much for being here. It's been lovely to see all of your faces, and Councillor Sibir, so pleased to see you. And everybody take care.
Thanks, everyone.